Proposed U.S. bill to ban loot boxes gains bipartisan support niche gamer. This bill to the Protecting Children from Abusive Games Act has now been in full, and has been co-signed by Senator Richard Blumenthal D., Connecticut, and Senator Ed Markey D., Massachusetts. While the bill is mainly focused on minor-oriented games, the bill also includes clauses including games where a publisher has constructive knowledge that any of its users are under the age of 18. This would also apply to updates to games adding such features. Even game the bill accepts programs that players are limited to selecting options from a menu of choices and would not be considered a game by a reasonable user. The bill also accepts cosmetic DLC and one-time purchase DLC that does not make progress easier. This could prove interesting in DLC that offers additional content, but completing that content would award abilities or equipment that makes progress easier. In addition, the act would be enforced by the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and state attorney generals. Not only would the bill also proposes the FTC must create a report to Congress within 2 years to outline the psychological effects of pay-to-win and loot boxes, their effect on the video game industry, and if they could create compulsive buying in minors. Speaking to Polly spoke harshly about loot boxes. Only the addiction economy could produce a business model that relies on placing a casino in the hands of every child in America with the goal of getting them desperately hooked. I am proud to. The two co-signers also shared their thoughts. Today's digital entertainment ecosystem is an online gauntlet for children, Markey said. Inherently the ESA Entertainment Software Association seemed critical of the bill, as CEO Stanley Pierre-Louis offered a damning statement. This legislation is flawed and riddled with inaccuracies. It does not reflect. In 2017, Senator Chris Lee D., Hawaii proposed to anyone under 21. The U.S. Justice, in the ongoing jazz surrounding loot boxes, a severe law threatened to take legal action against developers. Even after. What do you think? Sound off. In the taking his first steps onto Route 1 and never stopping, Ryan has had a love of RPGs since a young age. Now he's learning. A website. A copyright 2013-2019 niche gamer. All rights reserved.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.